Welcome to the Canada Credit Card Expert channel. Today, Canada's top-notch credit cards, what sets them apart, why do you want to have them, who gets to have them, well, all about it momentarily. Just before that, the Canada Credit Card Expert channel would like to help you build the best possible portfolio of credit cards. Just subscribe at the bottom. You could definitely comment or like us as well. Let's actually start. Category 6 credit cards, as you might know, we do have a whole video about that as well. There are 6 categories of credit cards, all the way from credit builders, no annual fee, that means categories 1, 2 type of credit cards, all the way up to category 6. Well, what is the difference between a category 6 to category 5, as well as what type of perks or what type of earning ratios do these credit cards actually have? Well, let's just start by saying that there are only 3 credit cards in Canada in category 6. The highest category of credit cards, the top-notch, the most prestigious credit cards, they are all category 6. Here they are right now on the screen. Well, the colloquially known as the Amex Black card, the American Express Centurion card. Next to it, you could see the HSBC Jade World Elite MasterCard, and then you could see the RBC Visa Infinite Privilege Private Banking. These 3 are all metal Category 6 credit cards, and they are the only Category 6 in Canada we have. What is so special about them? Well, in a single word, we're talking about exclusivity, and that means, well, let's actually give an example. Imagine you actually travel internationally on an airline and you travel at business class. Basically, business class will have more flight attendant per passenger than, say, economy class. It will have better food, and definitely your seat would actually turn into a full flat bed. So that is very comfortable. However, imagine you can actually take this very nice business class product and actually tweak it a little bit upwards and actually create exclusivity. This is exactly what we call first class. First class will have per passenger more flight attendants, and it would have a slightly better tweak type of product, which means the linen would be slightly different, etc., etc., the loungers, etc. So at the end of the day, you would get pretty much the same space in terms of what you get on the airplane, but you would get a much better, more dedicated, more personalized type of experience. And when we talk about category 6 credit card, indeed we're actually talking about exactly the same thing. So let's actually look at these 3 credit cards that we have in Canada and actually see what is the exclusivity factor when you actually compare them to other credit cards in category 5 or 4. The equivalent credit cards of the very same issuers. So let's start with the American Express Centurion card. Well, when it comes to requirement, well, basically you would have to have a different American Express account, and normally we would be talking about the Platinum card. Once you spend on the Platinum card, it is rumored that the actual number is around $250,000 a year at the very least, on top of $1 million income annually. That means you might actually get an invite for the Centurion program, and that would actually set you back, if you are accepted, $2,500 annually plus $5,000 for initiation. So that is a big difference if you actually compare it to the $699 for the Platinum card, which is also a metal card, and that is a category 5 by American Express. However, what else would you actually get? Well, you definitely get the personalized stuff, the personal shopper, personalized concierge service, and you will actually get pretty much the same earn ratio as the Platinum card, and the tweak would actually be that some of the status you do get with some of these airlines or some of these hotels would be slightly different. Let us just mention that. You would actually get with the Centurion Delta Airlines Platinum Medallion status, which is not the case with the Platinum card by Amex. You also get elevated status with the Avis and a little bit of other event invitations and some other services which are very exclusive, such as private jets, etc. But other than that, it is pretty much all the same. So this is all about exclusivity and personalized service, as we mentioned. Let's actually move on. The HSBC Jade World Elite MasterCard, Let's compare it with the publicly available next in line, which is the HSBC World Elite MasterCard, which is a Category 4 credit card actually. And by the way, there is the HSBC World Elite Premier MasterCard, which is for all purposes similar to the publicly available Category 4 World Elite MasterCard by HSBC. The only difference between Premier and the other World Elite MasterCard is actually the interest rate is only 2% less, 17.9. However, all the rest is exactly the same. So there is an amazing earn ratio, which is 3% on travel and 1.5% on everything else. And there is also the absolutely amazing transfer ratio. If you actually take points from HSBC and move them into British Airways, Cathay Pacific, and Singapore Airlines being actually the only program that actually allows you to collect miles in Canada and get them into Singapore Airlines. So when it comes to HSBC Jade World Elite MasterCard, it is essentially exactly the same card with two differences. Well, the first difference is the Lounge Key program by MasterCard, Airport Experiences, would actually allow you to get into all these lounges absolutely free for you and a guest. Now, this is not the case with the two Category 4 credit cards that you see on the screen, namely the World Elite MasterCard and the World Elite Premier MasterCard. This is actually a difference that would mean you can actually get into the lounge as many times as you like with a guest, while in the case of the other credit cards, you'd have to pay $32 US dollars per admission. The other thing that changes with regards to the Category 6 Jade card is you will, for as long as you are a Jade customer, you will actually get the annual fee of $299 rebated in full. So essentially, if you're a Jade customer, you'll actually get it for free. If for any reason you stop being a Jade customer, you will be paying $299 annual fee. So that means if you're a Jade customer, you do have at least $1 million of relationship with HSBC. It could be investments or cash or whatever it is. Or there is another version, which is $500,000 with $1.5 million in mortgages. However, this is what would qualify you into the HSBC Jade program. So again, a minor difference between the Category 6 beyond exclusivity, obviously the exclusive and priority that you actually get as a Category 6 credit card holder. Let's move into the RBC Visa Infinite Privilege. Again, we're talking about the Visa Infinite Privilege being the publicly available credit card Category 5 versus the Wealth Management Private Banking Visa Infinite Privilege credit card by RBC. Essentially, these two cards are exactly the same. However, when you do have the private banking version, you will actually, if you do have a premium account with RBC as part of a wealth management program, you will actually get a rebate of $120. So obviously the RBC Visa Infinite Privilege card is $399 annual fee. In the event that you do have the premier account with RBC Wealth Management, that will go down to $279. Other than that, you will enjoy the Avion program, and we do have a whole video about that, as well as we do have about the HSBC program. Both of them are right at the bottom. You can actually see the links. Basically, you will be enjoying transfer into WestJet and obviously American Airlines. And again, this is the only program in Canada that allows you to do that. And when it comes to RBC Visa Infinite Privilege, you get the Visa Infinite Privilege perks, which are priority security lanes in a few Canadian airports, as well as priority pass with 6 passes for lounges annually. And you do get a great perk, which is essentially $2 per 100 points on all business and first class bookings if you have a Visa Infinite Privilege card. And that is exactly the same for Category 5 or Category 6. So again, with the exception of the personalized service, the two cards are essentially identical. In order to qualify for the private banking version of the credit card, you would have to have a relationship with the RBC to the tune of at least $1 million in investable assets or $3 million net worth. Other than that, you'll be able to actually get this wealth management program applicable to you and subsequently get this private banking version of the RBC Visa Infinite Privilege credit card. So you're more than welcome to leave your comments. Would you like to have a Category 6 credit card? Well, do you see actually any difference in real terms when it comes to the Category 4 or 5 when you compare them to Category 6? Well, as we showed you, it's all about reputation and exclusivity. Are you actually enticed by it? Yes or no? You're more than welcome to leave your comments at the bottom. You're more than welcome to subscribe to our channel. We hope you enjoyed this video and we'll see you very soon.